Yo, what is going on YouTube? Radar 25 here, back again with another video, another takeaway video. And tonight is Friday Night Smackdown, the weirdest Smackdown of all time because it was in the Performance Center with an empty arena, no fans. Super strange. But with what's going on now, it is what it is. So Radar 25 here, my co-host Michael Fontamania. Again, whatever the fuck you guys want to call him or whatever name.
What up, Mox?
So let's get into this video. Before we do, remind you guys, drop likes on these videos if you can. Really appreciate it. And remember to subscribe. If you're watching and subscribe, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're not missing nothing. None of the videos we're dropping, any of the takeaways from this past week, this one and the upcoming one for Monday Night Raw, which is going to be another weird show. Remember to, hit us up in the comment section. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description below. Without further ado, guys, let's get into this video. Our 2 takeaways from Smackdown at the Performance Center with an empty arena.
Let's go.
All right, guys. The show started with Triple H on that perch that they have there at the Performance Center in that little arena they got. Basically just introducing, the Performance Center. We all know what it is already, and just
last night or Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday night. So, but I mean, the funny thing is WWE is refusing to use the word coronavirus.
Yeah,
or anything like that. I think it's because of WrestleMania, and it's still not being postponed or canceled. They don't want to say the actual word.
So they want to kayfabe it.
Yeah, it's a Vince thing. Definitely a Vince thing.
They canceled the XFL season. I mean, just call it what it is. Like, stop. Like, that's the thing with Vince sometimes. He overthinks things. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, it's a pandemic. We just went into a national emergency. Like, it is what it is. Get over it.
So, but guys, this is takeaway number 1. It's obviously takeaway is just that it's an empty arena. You never, you haven't seen this since halftime heat between The Rock and Mankind. And, that was
one match.
Yeah, it was one match. This is an entire show.
So
it's very awkward, very strange. But that's takeaway number 1. It's just the fact that how overall show was just weird. So it starts with Triple H, introducing the Performance Center and saying that with everything that's going on in life, we're trying to, get you guys to, put smiles on people's faces, the classic WWE tagline. But, again, they just didn't say the word coronavirus the entire time. They just said, oh, it's an empty arena, and that's it. We all know why it's empty. We all know what they're doing. But I guess it's because Mania is still around and they haven't postponed, canceled, and they're just waiting it out. They don't want to say the word for some reason. It's a Vince thing. It's just a weird Vince.
It's a Vince thing. It's all so weird. But the arena looked pretty cool. I did like the lighting. They made it look, like a cool little indie, like a super hyped indie show. Actually would have been good with some fans in there, but
it would have been. Yeah, they could have had other like NXT trainees
guys watching,
like
that. Like just
some guys like that, and tell them like, yo, guys, play it up a little bit,
like
whatever,
like some refs, some backstage,
whatever. They could have had
writers.
NXT guys in the crowd. They could have had guys like guys we know in the crowd. Have them in the crowd because they're all there anyways. The Performance Center, have them be in the crowd. It's just to fill it up a little bit. Even if it's 20 people, they're just there because it's just the match. It felt like since there was no fans, all you heard was the people in the ring.
Yeah, well, that's all you can hear.
The announcers the two sounds were clashing against each other. The announcers and the ring and the in-ring stuff. It was just clashing against.
I mean, it's the best they can do with what's going on. I mean, you really can't complain or blame them. It is what it is. We're living in a crazy time, and this is like the new normal for the next couple of weeks. Could be longer. God knows. Hopefully it's quick, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be quick. So
we got the Raw show with Austin, which is gonna be super weird.
And I doubt that NXT's gonna have anybody. And next SmackDown, I mean, it's only gonna get worse from here before it gets better. So
so
we'll see.
It was interesting though. We had Triple H on commentary on Michael Cole, which I was surprised. It was surprising. He said he was gonna have more guests, but he didn't. He just had Triple H the entire time, which was fine because Triple H is a funny dude.
I mean, Mojo came out. I mean,
it's just Triple H busting Michael Cole's balls the entire time.
Which
is funny.
And he had the old Vince McMahon, like, what a maneuver.
Yeah, he's making fun of Vince on commentary, which is funny.
That was funny.
I'm sure Vince appreciated that. He's probably pissed himself.
All right. He had to light up the mood. It was too quiet in there anyway.
So, that's the takeaway. It's just a weird And then the entrances, like they're doing their entrances, the wrestlers, and they're playing up to the crowd like there's a crowd there.
Like there's no crowd there.
It's just weird.
And then like Nikki Cross was like doing like a hot tag, and she just was like trying to clap up the crowd. Like, and your Triple H like trying to hype up the crowd that isn't there. It's like gotta love Nikki Cross.
Yeah,
and like you can't blame them because they're just so used to, and they're it's their normal is to get in there, and autopilot is to.
Yeah, well, that's just like muscle memory at that point. Like, when you're tag match, you got to set up for the hot tag and stuff like that. So, that leads into the first match of the night, which was Bayley and Sasha Banks come out, awkward little promo that they run, and they ask for more pages, and they're basically bothering the shit out of Michael Cole and Triple H. That's the word pages, and she had travel issues, and she wasn't able to make it, which is it's a true thing because she was advertised, even with the empty arena, she was advertised, but she didn't show up. So then. They're there talking shit, and here comes Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and they set up a tag team match. It was a good tag team match. It's just like there's nothing seemed just like a random match because there's really nothing at stake. And then we had an interference by Asuka in there.
Which is setting up a women's tag team match that we were talking about that. Like which having the belts on the line.
They're gonna have the belts on the line. Belts mean absolutely nothing right now. So maybe they could have named this as a number one contender match for Mania or something like that.
But there was talk on Twitter with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Like they were talking crap to Asuka and Kirasane. So it looks like they're gonna end up having a feud here over the next couple of weeks.
Motherfucker, it's Kairi Sane. You said Kirasane.
Whatever, like the Kabuki Mumoli motherfucker. Yeah. My bad.
So Kairi Sane and Asuka, the Kabuki Warriors. So there's a beef going on there. We're gonna see what's gonna happen because is WrestleMania gonna have a SmackDown Women's Title match? I assume they will. So will it be Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Kabuki Warriors? Because again, those tag team titles are never defended. They seem pointless and worthless at this time. So they got
but this is the start of it. Like they're building it up again. Like we said, like all the builds up are kind of slow. Nothing's really they're like 2 weeks behind. It feels, and this is only going to make it slow them down with this whole coronavirus. So it's going to be a weird build.
Yeah. So like we said, Asuka interfered, and she hit Alexa Bliss, leaving Nikki Cross alone in the ring. She got the bank statement on her, and she lost. Tapped out. So Bayley and Sasha won the match. Like I said, it was a good match, but it's just awkward. It's just really awkward. It's not much else you can say about it. Yeah,
the crowd's not there. Match has no meaning. It just
but they gotta rebuild these tag team titles. But on to the next thing. We got a Roman Reigns sit down interview with Michael Cole in the ring. It didn't hype the WrestleMania match whatsoever. And he's obviously better, Roman Reigns, when he doesn't have a script, and he's using his own words
off the cuff,
like that. But it was just basically Michael Cole saying like the fans are saying that you don't deserve this shot because you just came out of nowhere and automatically you just got a title shot for WrestleMania.
I mean, did Goldberg deserve the belt? Like just either or.
No, but he was never involved in the feud to begin with between Goldberg and Fiend, so he just jumps in and takes the title. He says, and then his rebuttal is. I've been busting my ass on the house show tours and all that stuff like that, main eventing, which is obviously true. We all know he's a locker room leader. He's a hardworking guy. So, all respect in the world to him, but so is everybody else doing the same thing. So it's like, you could have used – it's because he's not like – there's no storyline. He just jumped in and took it. So he didn't have a setup towards it. That's what people are complaining about, I think. And that he's just been in a ton of title matches anyways.
Honestly, I think it just would have made more sense to just keep it on the Fiend and have a match that people wanted to see, Reigns versus the Fiend. And I get your whole thing that they didn't want to see him boo, but don't put the match on last. Put it before last, and it won't really matter. Yeah. Nobody cares about Goldberg. No one's cared about Goldberg since Nash and Hall screwed him in 1999 Starrcade with the cattle prod. He's been uninteresting ever since.
Yeah,
he might have had a night.
It might have been better if you would have. Because it's like, I think people are complaining because he says he wins the title, he says who's next, and it's just Roman Reigns shows up, and automatically that match is set. If there would have been more of a build-up, let's say like a small mini tournament on a SmackDown, to get that through and have some good matches put in there, and then because it's like, okay, you're busting your ass on the house tour, which is a real life thing. That's true. You're working hard. Maybe if you deserve a title shot, you deserve a title shot. But you're talking about kayfabe, you're talking about storyline aspect. You just hopped out of nowhere and took the chance and automatically got a title shot at WrestleMania. Normally, we all know title shots at WrestleMania are supposed to be earned through some sort of storyline and set up somehow there, but really wasn't much going on there. So it did nothing to set up the match. So
I'm not excited about that match at all, as you can already tell.
Yeah,
that match is
Roman Reigns obviously going to win. champion once again, which is fine. But it's just there's no build up to the match, and the match just is.
And nobody cares about him and Goldberg. Just face the facts. Goldberg hasn't been interesting in 20 years. Like, who cares?
So nobody really cares at this point. Next was like an hour long just replay of the SmackDown Tag Team Title Elimination Chamber match from last Sunday. You guys know what we felt about that match. Go check out our takeaway video from Elimination Chamber to hear about this match. But this is just all filler. I mean, understandable because they have an empty arena and it's awkward, so they got to have something to just fill the time, and you know, that's pretty much it. So just a segment that was there, and what else can you do? Next we had a backstage where it was Daniel Bryan conveniently running into Drew Gulak, and he was looking for him everywhere. You know, Drew Gulak seemed to just be standing in the middle of everything. Yeah. Talking about, you know, their match on past Sunday. Go back to our takeaway video if you haven't seen it, and you'll see how much we enjoyed that match itself. And, you know, here comes Sami Zayn along with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Obviously, Sami Zayn's the Intercontinental Champion, and, you know, they're talking shit to each other. Cesaro jumps in and says he'll take a match. You know, and basically Bryan challenges Cesaro to a match, and that's the match we get. You know, Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak versus Cesaro with Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, it was a good match, but it's just weird, like, with an empty crowd. This stuff like this kind of match needs the crowd involvement to get it really going.
Yeah,
and with the outside interference and stuff like
that.
Though.
It was all awkward. It was just all didn't feel right. I mean, again, they did the best they could. Everybody did what they could to make it as watchable as it was. It's just you need some excitement. You need the crowd. You need that feel with just.
Yeah, so matches fall flat basically at this point. Yeah, there's just matches, and you know, you're just watching them, and they have nothing to them. Bryan gets the win with the schoolboy on Cesaro, so that was the end of the match. They had a beatdown at the end. Drew Gulak comes in, they beat him down, and Daniel Bryan recovers, makes the save, and that's the end of that. But it's good to see these guys together. Maybe they'll do form a tag team or work off each other, and maybe somebody gets it. I'm assuming. For Mania, it's going to be Intercontinental title match with either Bryan or Gulak, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Bryan.
It would be good to see Bryan or Gulak as Intercontinental champion.
Or like maybe they find a third partner and have a
do a 6-man. Yeah,
6-man type of thing. But at the moment, I'd rather see Gulak and Bryan go against each other.
Over and over again. I mean, maybe they take the title off of Sami and then they do a tag team title match between the two of them. At Mania or something like that. So
we'll see.
Should be cool. But it'd be good to have the Intercontinental title involved with guys who are big time, you know, workhorse type of guys and technical wrestlers and real savvy and stuff like that. So it's good to see that. Next we had a backstage segment where they introduced Jeff Hardy, and he gets interrupted by King Corbin. They have a little bit of an altercation. He sets up a match right there on the spot.
Because he's GM Powers.
Yeah, and then this ongoing feud between Elias and King Corbin. I mean, I don't really like it because I think they need to be working with guys who elevate them, like guys who are better wrestlers than them to make them look better. And, you know, so the match happens. Jeff Hardy looks like he's not even ready to come back yet. He has this match. He looked slow and looked hurt. So, you know, he got the win, which is weird because you built up King Corbin to be a big-time heel, top guy, facing, you know, Roman Reigns for 6 months, basically. And he's taking a fall to a returning Jeff Hardy who looks like he's not ready and he's not healthy.
Yeah, he just doesn't look right. I mean, and, like, they were playing the whole, like, DUI stuff in that promo beforehand.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's true. They were doing that, yeah.
They are really – this whole run recently has been a lot of, like, in different storylines, even on Raw, just a lot of realistic kind of throwing in life. Even the, like, the end promo that we're going to talk about, the end of the show.
Yeah.
Just it's a lot of throwing in the real stuff, and it's cool, but that was kind of, do we need that?
Yeah. No, and then not to forget, Elias was on commentary for this match. But, like, the whole Elias feud, I'm not really feeling it. And then have him lose. It's just King Corbin, you're building him up for no reason to have him lose in a throwaway match against Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy obviously got the win. Good for Jeff. Good to see him back. But he needs to get healthy first. If he's not, like, all the way back, you know, take some time to get in the swing of things.
Like, back in ring shape, man.
Yeah, and have him beat lower level guys, lower card guys, not one of your top heel base. I mean, be honest with you, he's probably the
on Smackdown, yeah.
No, second. I mean, Fiend is the top heel, but yeah.
But Fiend's kind of like he's a heel, but it's a different type of heel.
Yeah, but he's like one of your top guys. Let's put it that way. 'Cause he was obviously facing your top number one in Roman Reigns for a while, 6 months long, basically, or almost close to it. So it's weird to see him lose. But the next thing, the final thing is takeaway number 2 of the night is John Cena's appearance on SmackDown. He comes out, cuts a promo, which we've heard him say this before, and he's talking about the fact that after he faces somebody at like WrestleMania or has a big feud with somebody, they kind of get buried after that. Mm-hmm. But he's saying that it's not – people blame him that he's the one burying them, but he's the one actually taking them to another level, and they just – when they get there, they don't push harder to break past it and keep on top. They stay on top in the feud, and afterwards they get lazy and complacent, and they just drop down the card and start falling off.
And they feel, like you said, the most entitled, superstar on the roster, Bray, the Fiend. I mean, I believe it. I mean,
I believe it too. Yeah, because I
don't think John was like
because it comes to
storylines and stuff.
It comes to a point, right? Like, why doesn't he want more guys to work with, more guys to make money with, right? It comes to a point when everybody likes to say WWE's ruining this guy. At some point you have to put some type of responsibility on the talent themselves. That what are they doing? Because it can't always be WWE. Because if that was the case, nobody would go there. Right? Yeah, nobody would ever go there. Like, nobody would be like, nah, because I'm not going to go there because they bury everybody or shit.
And like again, Vince wants to make a star. That's what Vince wants. And John Cena is supposed to elevate you. And you're not, and if you don't beat him, you got to still build off of that. You can't just sulk and fall off. Like, you need the ruthless aggression. You need like that to grab the brass ring. And a lot of guys haven't. And Bray was that guy for a long time.
A guy, for example, is AJ Styles. He had a big feud. Kevin Owens, another guy, two big feuds, and they got the best of Cena, right? They both got wins off of him. I think Kevin Owens got 2 wins off of him.
Yeah.
AJ Styles lost the 3rd match, I believe, against him. So they continued after that. So there's got to be something behind it, the talent-wise. With Bray Wyatt, it might be different because they gave him so much stop-and-go shit. He had big-time, feuds, but he just lost all of them.
Yeah.
So his credibility was shot at that point. He loses all of his matches. All of his feuds are lost. So John Cena cuts his promo basically saying that and saying it's on the talent. And then here comes not the Fiend, but Bray Wyatt in person, no Firefly Funhouse in person. And, he's basically saying that John Cena isn't the role model he says he is. He's not, real. He's not – he's pretending basically. And that, after that match at Mania, it basically, set Bray Wyatt back, and he was going crazy thinking about it. And the Fiend was the one that kind of saved him from it. And he's basically saying he's gonna slaughter John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good little, I liked it. It was a good little promo. I liked the fact that they were throwing the whole burial thing, and he said that's all he did was bury guys, and the fact that he just couldn't stop thinking about it for years and years and years. Yeah. And he created the Fiend. John Cena created the Fiend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun. I think it's adding to the whole IWC thing where
everybody hates Cena for that shit. They say, he buries everybody. Shit. He always wins, but he's lost a shit sometimes. He got completely squashed by Brock Lesnar, completely squashed by
lost
Undertaker.
To the Miz at WrestleMania.
He lost to the Miz at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He lost the first matchup against The Rock. And
he's lost plenty of times.
Squashed, like I say, he got squashed by Undertaker in that impromptu match. He's lost a shit ton of times, but he has the ability. Just those don't hurt him as much as it hurts other guys for some reason. I don't know what it is, but at some point you just got to stop blaming John Cena and the company for everything, and just look at maybe it's the talent.
I think if it falls on the talent, because at the end of the day, they're trying to make stars. They're trying to make money, and they need a guy who's going to carry them and bring in eyes to the product. And they're not looking to bury guys. There's, people keep saying, they're going to bury this guy, bury that guy. They see what a star is, try to make a star. And sometimes they get here and they can't get.
Yeah. I want to take, for example, 2 guys. We've talked about it before in our other takeaways of Raw videos, or our last 2 Raw takeaways. It was Ricochet losing to Riddick Moss and Cedric Alexander losing to Riddick Moss, right? When you look at it first, you're like, why are they squashing him, right? Now you got to look at it this way. What is Ricochet? What is Cedric Alexander? They're just 2 guys that are really good in the ring, do a lot of cool moves.
Yeah.
But other than that, what are they?
Yeah.
They don't have developed characters, they're both not that strong on the mic, right?
I'm not a big fan of Ricochet's mic skills. Like he doesn't. I think he doesn't have the charisma to me.
Yeah.
They always say it. Like, he doesn't have the it when it comes to the mic stuff.
Which he could become passable over time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And his in ring is so special that if he can become passable, then he can. But that doesn't make. a top tippy top guy.
So it's how do you can't market his in-ring shit as the thing that makes him the guy, right? Because everybody know there's a million guys who could do a shit ton of stuff. He does it, some of the stuff he does is I don't think I've seen anybody else do.
Yeah, he can fly. He can literally fly.
But there's other guys out there who do similar stuff, who can get those big spots and stuff like that. So it comes down to the end is like what kind of he doesn't really have much of a character, neither does Cedric Alexander. They're just guys, right?
Like Ricochet is the resident superhero, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't have a character. He doesn't have a established thing that that's Ricochet. You know what he is, right? You just know like, oh, okay, he's about to do a bunch of cool stuff in the ring. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Like AJ Styles, I have to go back. AJ Styles, he's the phenomenal one. It's his tagline, but he actually is that, right? Yeah. That's what he actually is. So
and he's the bulldog. Like he's like that's his thing. He's like the guy that's gonna like give you the hardest hit matches, and everybody's gonna look really snug, and everybody's gonna look really good. Yeah. And he's gonna show you that why he's the best, and that's his character. Ricochet. There's a lot of guys that don't have a character, or they have characters like King Barrett, where it's like or Corbin. I'm sorry, King Corbin. Whatever the hell I want to call him.
Well, there was a King Barrett. Yeah,
Wait, there's so many Kings, King Booker, King Macho.
But the King gimmick is something that gives him some type of character, and if he works for him, it does.
But we've seen his King thing. There's been so many kings in wrestling. Jerry Lawler. Just like.
But like a guy with Corbin,
is that gonna get you over? Like,
but Corbin's a good heel. He's a character. He's just an unlikable guy, and that's what he is. At this point he has the King gimmick, but even before that he's just one of those guys that you just don't like. He's an asshole and all that stuff like that, cocky little bastard, and big bastard, and all that stuff. But like guys like that, they just don't have characters. They're just guys who do good stuff in the ring, and the match itself, like it's stuff in the ring, isn't selling tickets. It's people caring about the actual guys in the match, characters and stuff like that. It's not just Ricochet's in this match, Cedric Alexander's in this match. I know I'm going to get a cool match. I'm paying for that. No, you're not paying for that, right? You're not going to pay for that. You want to pay because you
want to care. Like
you want to care about the character, storyline, and everything.
Like the thing about like wrestling is simple. Just make me care about why these two guys are in a match. That's it. It doesn't do anything for me if he can. Yeah, it's awesome to see this guy flying around. Like it's freaking amazing and all that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm more invested when there's a storyline that has me enthralled and I'm ready to watch this. And I'm like, it's like, it's a big fight feel. It's all that those feelings that you want. And no offense on Ricochet, but he hasn't done that. And it's basically because of his character, and maybe it's a storyline you can say, but on the mic, he hasn't really got me to like want to watch the match.
Yeah.
Just kind of is what it is. And maybe, and hopefully he works on the mic.
Hopefully he does. Yeah. And he builds more of a character, and he's more, and Cedric Alexander as well, more character based stuff. And
then all the guys, care like all these younger guys, because there isn't a John Cena. There isn't a John Cena.
There's just a bunch of guys who do a bunch of moves and stuff like that, but there's really not much else to them. So, but let's get back to the John Cena Bray Wyatt thing. That was the promo. It was really well done, and it benefited from no crowd because it was more intense.
Yeah.
Too, right? So you didn't have any crowd interference or anything like that or cheering, but it was able to be between the two, and it's good to see Bray Wyatt cut a promo inside of ring as Bray Wyatt, which he doesn't do anymore. Just does 5.
And he cut a great promo too. I liked how he was like the sadistic, like talking really quick and not really pausing. I mean, I thought that was awesome. And it got me excited for the match. Like that's one of the matches I'm excited for.
Exactly. Yeah, it did what Roman Reigns didn't, which was hype the match and sell the match, because this is probably one of this, and I would say for me the Drew McIntyre match, Edge and Randy Orton because of the story behind it, and like Becky and Shayna Baszler. Like those are the 3 matches I'm most excited about, and AJ Styles and Undertaker, because I know it's just AJ Styles and I'm a big AJ Styles fan. So, just for that. But it was really well done. And like you said, I like the way they involved that storyline from John Cena. People always saying he's burying everybody. He beats them in the end, and then nothing ever happens with him afterwards. Maybe they should have won. Like I think Bray Wyatt should have beat him at WrestleMania, and I think Rusev should have beat him at WrestleMania because they were just on the up, but they lost. But even after that, maybe it's on them as to why.
Yeah, and like those guys had so many But here's the thing. Bray Wyatt's found his niche. He's found this Fiend character. It's like it's over. It's
rejuvenated him.
Yes. Where Rusev had a Rusev Day, he had him Rusev Milana. He was Bulgarian. He was Russian. He was this. He was that. And we love. I mean, you and I love Russo. We think he's hilarious. Like he had one of the funniest things.
I think he has a great personality. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's probably cool.
The siege thing. Yeah, the siege thing you always talk about. Yeah, when he got on the table and he was
like watch that. Like, if you haven't seen that, you have to like just Google that or YouTube.
Because it's so red. They're beating the shit out of everybody in the room, and then he just gets on the thing. He's like,
it's like it makes no sense, but it's so fucking hilarious.
So funny.
But again, it's just like these guys haven't taken that next step, and like they just kind of been in the hamster wheel, just But Bray was, disappearing, losing all the time. At one point, he was just talking randomly about anything.
Yeah, I think they overexposed him on the promos and just talking random shit that made no sense to people. Yeah, it was too much of that shit. Yeah,
he was on the Ultimate Warrior talk, just talking a bunch of weird shit.
It was just too much of that. They had to cut that down, and he had to win some of those feuds or dominate them a bit more, and then have to be a different type of way because he was losing clean every single time, and
he's going in there saying and he was going in there saying I'm the eater of worlds and blah blah blah, and it's like, dude, you keep losing. Like, who gives a fuck?
So his credibility was shot. But
credit to him, he's the hottest character in the company right now.
Yeah, he is definitely.
Even though that Goldberg beat him for the belt, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't really hurt. It doesn't seem to have really hurt him. Everybody's just kind of mad that it was Goldberg that did it.
And it's just like, and the Goldberg, and he doesn't even he hasn't even brought it up. Like,
he hasn't brought it up. Yeah, it has lost it, and it is what it is. I mean, I don't really think he needs the title because he's such an over-the-top character. But it comes to the point, he gets it. How do you take it from him? At that point, like, who takes it from him? How do you do it? And then if he's the champion too long, people might get tired of it. So it's a slippery slope as to how you work him. He could be more of a specialty character at this point. Have his match against John Cena. Maybe you don't see him for a little bit, a month or two, a month and a half, and then you bring him back to have started another feud with somebody else. But thank God they got rid of the red lighting. That shit was annoying and hard to watch. I hope they don't bring it back at Mania if Mania does happen. It's an outdoor arena, so
so it won't look great.
It won't look as hopefully that shit's gone for good. He doesn't need it. Doesn't make any sense, and it just makes it tough to watch. But
it's
overall,
like too much.
Yeah, this was obviously the best part of SmackDown, a weird ass SmackDown, like we said before. And there was only 2 takeaways. This is takeaway number 2. Now we're gonna get to the thing, the segment, the shit that sucked, and the shit that sucked was the empty arena. But there's no ifs, ands, or buts, or ways around it. It's just something you had to do. Yeah, either you cancel the show or you do empty arena. So they need to be on TV. They need the ratings. They sign contracts with the network, so they have to have these shows out and just do it empty arena.
And it's only happening during the biggest time of the year in wrestling. Is WrestleMania
season. The timing is
just like the timing
terrible.
Is as bad as it gets. Like this could be. I mean, it's just it doesn't look like I said earlier. It's not ending in sight. Like I really don't think WrestleMania is gonna happen.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the delayed. So this is gonna be a weird build and just.
Yeah. Especially I would say at the minimum we're gonna get 30 days of this. So whatever falls in this 30-day AEW. On a side note, AEW is doing like a restricted fan type of thing.
Yeah,
at their 2 shows, they moved both their upcoming shows that were in the East Coast, which sucks, to Jacksonville, Florida, and they're doing like a restricted fan thing. So I'm not exactly sure what the protocol is.
But even that might still change between now and then, because I mean, if it starts getting worse, when and like
I assume national emergency, I assume they're doing it at that amphitheater that they've been doing at. I think that Tony Khan's dad was the one that helped build that. So I think they'll probably do it there, but I don't understand the restricted fan thing, but let's see what happens. And I don't know how they're going to fit the War Games in that small area.
I mean, they might have to just put that on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
I know.
It's going to mess up the whole story. It's going to like extend it out. It might drag it out a little too long, but we'll see what happens. But that's the shit that sucked, the empty arena. It is what it is. We're going to see that on Monday Night Raw, which I think is going to be even weirder because we have – I mean, the guy's been retired for close to almost 20 years, and he still gets the biggest reaction out of anybody. Yeah. Current, the only guy that even comes close to the reaction that Stone Cold Steve Austin gets is a mid-'80s Hogan. It's the only guy who comes close. So it's gonna be weird. Is he gonna hit all 4 corners? Because if he does, he's not doing it to anybody. So I don't know how he's gonna do it. It's gonna look weird,
And who's not throwing beers? There wasn't any great vendors.
Yeah. Oh, before we forget, another thing that sucked on the show. So we'll have 2 shit that sucked. Was the Miz and Morrison promo in the middle of the ring?
I thought it was kind of funny. You don't like it?
I didn't. You know what? Maybe it's that stupid thing to do at the end.
Oh, the how's it go?
Miz and more. Hey, ho, ho. I think that shit is corny.
I kind of enjoyed them just going like, well, if you think we're the best tag team, then
Yeah, I mean it's a little clever and a little funny.
I mean, I thought it was fun for what they had to do.
Okay, it's not a shit that sucked, but we just forgot to cover it, and I just wanted to say like I hate that ho ho hey hey thing they do. Yeah. I think it's kind of corny, but that is what it is. But overall, weird show of SmackDown. The best thing was the finals segment with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. That was good. Hyped up to see that match. But that's the video, guys. Hit me up in the comment section. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit Michael up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram, whatever. And let me know what you guys thought of this. And what do you guys, how do you guys feel about the empty arena? And what do you guys, look for Monday Night Raw being an empty arena? And how that's going to look. It's going to be weird. And
it's going to be really red because this was really blue.
Yeah, it was really blue. That one's going to be really red. Yeah, and hopefully we get maybe, Michael Cole and Triple H again because they were actually kind of fun together on the mic.
Or maybe Shawn Michaels will show up and we'll do a whole DX party.
I mean, that'll be cool because it's a little bit entertaining. It gives a little bit more of an entertainment value to it because, they're goofing around, especially Triple H. It made it a lot more fun.
And the craziest thing about it, Raw's going to be 3 hours in an empty
Holy
arena.
shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. Raw's going to be 3 hours in an empty arena. They're probably going to throw 6 pay-per-view matches, replays out there.
I don't know. Time. Like they might have to throw like Austin's best matches and just do that for an hour.
Yeah, they might just do that. We're gonna do Austin's best top 3 matches back to back.
I don't know.
It's gonna be a tough show to get through. But we'll hit you up with the takeaways from that one. There probably won't be too many takeaways. Another empty arena match, but let us know what you guys think of SmackDown and this whole empty arena business, and if they should if there's really nowhere else for them to go, so they got to do empty arenas. And what you guys thought of the show overall. And if you guys are hyped for this John Cena Fiend match, we are now after seeing this. It's one of our more matches that we're hyped about. And what do you guys think about what we said about these guys that don't really have characters and they're just guys who do moves? No disrespect towards these guys because we have tons of respect for them for their athletic ability and the fact that they're in there working. But we just think that they need to develop more characters for them to be,
top guys.
Yeah, taken more as top guys and guys who bring money in because that's the bottom line is they got to bring money in. If they don't, then they're not going to get pushed. So it is what it is at that point. But that's the end of the video, guys. Radar 25, Michael, Fontamania, whatever the fuck you guys want to call him or whatever the fuck he's going to steal from me next. It's up to him. But we're out, guys. Now, remember, if it doesn't work for you, brother, do not do the job.
Later, Marks.